today I'm going to teach you guys how to knit. And I know it seems kind of like an old lady craft, but knitting isn't just for grandmas. Right now there are lots of celebrities knitting actually, including Dakota Fanning, Kristen Stewart, and Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling said, if I had to design my perfect day, that would be it. And you get something out of it at the end. You get a nice present for someone who wants an oddly shaped, off-putting scarf. So I really like knitting because it's a rewarding hobby. You get something out of it at the end. It's very relaxing and I think it's fun. There's only 2 stitches you need to learn, knit and purl, and I'm going to teach you both of them today. And then the world is your oyster. You can make whatever you want from those 2 stitches. Any technique you need other than those 2 is just a variation off of those 2. I've been knitting for 10 years now. I learned when I was in Young Women's when I was 14. And I didn't do it so much at first, but now I really like it. So I started out with this weird, like, grassy colored scarf that was all furry and stuff. But since then I've knit sweaters and hats and mittens and socks. I really like knitting socks. I know you don't need to knit your own socks, but I like it. This is what I'm working on right now. It's going to be a triangle scarf. So just to show you some things that you can make with knitting. So I'm going to teach you how to pick the right yarn and needles, how to knit and purl, and then cast off, which is how you finish. So when you pick your yarn and needles, you want to make sure when you're first starting that you don't get anything fluffy or fuzzy. Like I said, I started off with yarn that looked kind of like grass with all its fuzzy, like weird green stuff going on. It's really hard to tell what you're doing. You can't see where the stitches are, and it's confusing at first. Once you get going, like fun fur to your heart's content. But at first you need stuff that's kind of plain like I've picked out. And then to know what size of needles you need, there will be a label that comes on your yarn. You 2 have labels, the others have balls. There are little squares right here, and I will pass this around, that show you what size you need. You go to the one that has the knitting needles crossed, and it'll say what size you need. So there's that if you want to look at it. So the label tells you everything you need to know. And the reason you need to pick the right size needles is because there's what's called gauge, and that's how close together your stitches are. And if you get the wrong size needles, you'll think you're like a terrible knitter, awful, and it looks really bad. And it's not you, it's what size needles you have. So if you want your stuff to look good, you want it to not like, so you can't like poke your finger through it. Unless that's what you're going for, then by all means, get a bigger size of needle. When you get it so that your finger doesn't poke or anything, it helps your pieces last longer and look better. So, first we need to figure out how to hold these. You're going to take the one that has the knitting on it in your left hand. And you're going to take the long yarn that goes back to the ball, and with your left, you're going to put it over your index finger, and then grab the rest, and hold on to your knitting with the rest of your fingers. I can see confused faces. So, just take the long yarn, put it over your index finger. I like to put it over my pinky finger as well, but you don't have to. And then grab the rest with the rest of your fingers. Then the other needle, I'll answer questions in just a minute. So the other needle, you're going to take in your other hand. This one is called your working needle. And so the first, knitting is really simple. All you're doing is pulling loops through loops. That's the basic premise. And any way you need to do that, you go right ahead, because there's as many ways to knit as there are knitters, and whatever way you need to do it, go ahead. So you're going to take your right hand needle and get your stitches up to the end. Don't drop them off, but just push them up to the end of your needle. You're going to take your right hand needle and put it through the first loop going from the front to the back. So from the front to the back. And then you're gonna wrap around with your working yarn. I will answer questions after, I promise. So wrap the yarn around, pull that loop through, and then drop that off. So again, take the right hand needle, put it through from front to back, wrap around, and pull it off. Okay, I'm gonna move on and I'll come back to it after we finish. So for a purl stitch, it's exactly the same thing, but you're gonna move your yarn to the front instead of in back. And when you put your needle through, you're gonna keep it in the front also. And then, like I said, wrap around, pull through, and pull that stitch off. And that's called a purl stitch. So, I'm gonna do that one more time. You're gonna put the yarn in front, put the needle through front to front, wrap around, pull it through the loop, and pull it off. So that's one purl stitch. And then when you cast off, you're gonna knit 2 stitches like we did earlier. And then you're gonna pull the first stitch over the second stitch and drop it off. And that's how you're gonna get rid of all your stitches, is you're just gonna keep pulling the first loop you knit over the second one. And as you can see, you're getting a hole there, and it'll bind off all the stitches. So, I know we haven't actually mastered it, but we've learned the basics of knitting here. And we've learned how to knit and purl and cast off. Like I said, with these skills, you can make a bunch of different stuff. It's a very rewarding hobby that is relaxing and fun. And I hope you have lots of fun and make lots of cool stuff. Thank you.